This is exactly the spark the Commanders needed. Today's video, we will be discussing another player who's had an outstanding offseason and who's doing great in minicamp. We're going to be discussing Ben Sinnot, tight end for the Washington Commanders, and what can we expect from him heading into this season. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commanders Digest, reporting everything all Washington Commanders, offseason, regular season, and everything between. So you want to be caught up to date, everything Commanders, make sure to subscribe right here to the channel. Like I said, this video will be putting a spotlight on tight end number 3, Ben Sinnot. What can we expect from him heading into this new season? The progress he's made. He's gotten a shout out from Dan Quinn. And we also got an update from Dan Quinn himself revolving around the situation of Noah Brown and his injury he suffered during minicamp. I did the research for you, so you don't have to. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But before we dive into it, make sure if you are a new watcher, new visitor to the channel, to hit that subscribe button, because we do have a subscriber goal of trying to hit 500. Yes, 500 subscribers by week 1 of the NFL season. Game 1 for the Commanders is 12 weeks away. I know we can do it because everything's been in the green. Y'all have been running it. Y'all have been running it up. Really do appreciate it. Every like, every share really does help the channel grow. It's not a Commander Digest video if there's not a quote thrown in there. Small successes lead to big victories. So for people that say, I'm not going to subscribe, I'm not going to like, not going to do it, it's helping. Little by little, it's helping. There's some personal goals I have for the channel, and they're being broken. So let me just say the views have been viewing. So really do appreciate that. If you're new here, subscribe. Now, if you're a returning viewer, make sure you are subscribed, because 87.5 of y'all who are watching the videos are not subscribed. That's crazy, because it's for the free skis. Doesn't charge you nothing, and it takes like 2 seconds. So really do appreciate that if you can subscribe. Back to the video. Ben Sinnot, tight end number 2, who could possibly be getting an absurd amount more playing time. Did I say that right? An abundance of more playing time heading into the regular season. We're going to give you some background on him. He was drafted last year by the Commanders, round 2, 53rd pick. He is tight end, 22 at the moment, depending on when you're watching this video, because his birthday is the 14th of June. So, you know, depending on when you watch this video, he will be 22, 23. So if you made it this far, comment down below. Happy birthday, Ben. Happy birthday, Ben, in the comments, because he, like I said, there's plans for him to make big strides for the Commanders this upcoming season. Right before day 2 of minicamp, he was one of 3 players that was shouted out by Dan Quinn for having a great offseason. He looked great, which is great in itself. Saying great too many times. When you have the head honcho, the head boss, Dan Quinn, go in front of, you know, a multitude of reporters and thousands of people watching the live stream, and afterwards, you know, it's not a random shout out. Oh, yo, shout out Ben. He's doing great. He's doing good. No, he really did believes in him, that he's going to make great strides heading into the regular season. His workload will increase based off our understanding. We're going to look into it. We got some little quotes right here. We're going to be breaking it down. First off, from Brian Manning from Commanders Wire, explaining why his playing time last year wasn't as big as a lot of people thought. We're going to be breaking it down right here. Sometimes fans are too impatient. If a player doesn't stand out immediately or have a defined role as a rookie, they're considered a bust. Fellow second-round pick tight end Ben Sinnot was mostly invisible. Before you blame Sinnot, look who was ahead of him. Veteran Zach Ertz started every game for years and looked 10 years younger as one of Daniels' top receiving options. John Bates is arguably the NFL's best blocking tight end, which left Sinnot with sparse playing time. Okay, W quote by Brian and W reading by me. Your boy tries his best. But just breaking it down, yes, you have a rookie, more than likely 21 when he came in last year. He's not going to start over John Bates. He was one of the NFL's best blocking tight ends. And then he's definitely not going to start over Zach Ertz. You know, Zach Ertz also came to the Commanders last season, but even then, let me be specific about this, because people want to, you know, take my words apart. There was a certain point where Zach Ertz was one of the best tight ends. I was a little, what's the word for it? Opinionated, scared. No, I can't really picture the word right now, but I had my opinions of Zach Ertz coming to the Commander. Like, oh, is he going to play, you know, how is he going to come in playing? Is he going to be, you know, slow and all that? And he played great. Look, he's one of Jayden Daniels' top receiving options. He played great. Super Bowl champion. So you're not going to have this young 21-year-old Ben come in and try to beat both of these dudes. And it goes with the ideology of sports fans in general. They want rookies to come in and just be an instant impact. It's not going to be the case, because when you have other people ahead of you, older, who know the system better than you, it's just, you're fighting an uphill battle, and that's not fair towards Ben himself and people judging him online. Like, oh, he's a bust. He's a bust. Well, you have two dudes who've been doing it longer than you and have been in the system. Obviously, he's not going to get a lot of playing time. But there is, like I said, reports saying he's going to get a bigger workload. We're going to look at what Ben himself had to say when interviewed of saying, what can we expect from him in year 2 of his career? Him saying, one that got an offseason, one that is more confident and much more comfortable with. You kind of get thrown into the fire a little bit your rookie year. You're learning your teammates, your coaches, your offense. So going into this season, getting a full offseason, getting my body back, knowing the offense, and already having that chemistry built. So just one that is ready to get better and hopefully a big role on this team. That's W mindset, W quote by Ben himself. You know, maybe a little bit L reading for myself. But nonetheless, like we said in the previous quote, fans expect you. He admitted himself, you get thrown into the fire as a rookie, and then fans just expect you to perform. Just go out there and perform. Go. Like, you're flying in blind. Especially, people got to consider, even though this team, Commanders, made the NFC Championship last year, a lot of these guys last season, it was their first season in general, second season. So everybody was learning on the fly, learning how to build that chemistry, that offense among coaches, among players. So obviously they didn't play to their best performance. Now this year is going to be different. We can expect a lot of players to perform a little bit better because, like Ben, a lot of them, this is their second year. They feel more comfortable in the offense. They feel more comfortable in the system. The chemistry is more built. There's more foundation set for them to build on. It's just great in general. So we said it about a multitude of players before. If Ben gets better, the Commanders get better. So we love to see it. And like I said, there's reports on what his workload will look like heading into the regular season. Brian Manning, again from Commanders Wire, had some predictions on it. The Commanders re-signed Ertz and Bates this offseason, not because they're concerned about Sinnot, but Bates will continue as the blocking tight end while Ertz signed a 1-year deal to remain Washington's starter. The Commanders will involve Sinnot more in the offense, hoping to see him take some time away from Ertz as the year progresses. Again, that isn't because they don't love Ertz, but because they want to see Sinnot eventually become tight end 1 and give the veteran rest so he can play another full season. This is breaking down what the ideology is for the Commanders heading into that within a tight end unit for the regular season. John Bates going to continue to be be that blocking tight end. Zach Ertz will be the starter, but you're going to give Sinnot more of that playing time so Zach Ertz doesn't get hurt because, well, we got to mention it. The TikTok brain rock kids, he's unk. For Ertz, I don't believe that. Because there was also rumors when the Commanders lost to the Eagles. Who keeps mentioning that game in the NFC Championship that, oh, Zach Ertz is going to retire, yada, yada. What is he going to do? He comes back because, Zach Ertz found his love for the game once again. Great to see it, and I truly do believe it was the right decision for the Commanders to get Ertz back. It just, that safety net, he was, as it said in the other quote, he was one of Jayden Daniels' favorite targets, so have that safety net. And it also helps Ben. You have, like I said, a veteran, tight end, Super Bowl champion you could learn from another year. And if you split those receptions between Ben and Ertz, he's going to be healthy. He's not going to, because obviously there's no lie about this. The older you get, the easier you can get hurt. You can get an injury. So to have Ben come in and be that youngster, 23 years old, into the rotation really does help the Commanders improve. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Commanders do have big plans for Ben, or would he get lost in the shuffle when you have to consider not only the tight ends, but you got to consider the running backs, you got to consider the wide receivers sharing the ball? Do you really do believe that Ben can make that jump into sharing those receptions with Zach Ertz, or is he going to get lost in the shuffle? You guys let me know in the comments. But like I said, if you stay towards the end of the video, we do have an update revolving around Noah Brown and his injury from Dan Quinn himself. Basically is nothing. let me not put it like that. But unfortunately, at the time of recording, Dan Quinn had his after practice interviews, press conference, and unfortunately there is no update. He was, like I said, the recording of this video, he hasn't done his MRI yet, so we don't know the severity of his injury. We don't know how good it is or how bad it is, but we do know he was carted off. He was very frustrated with the injury. Noah Brown, he threw his helmet to the ground, so you never want to see that because you don't want to hope for the worst. You don't want to assume the worst. But when players throw their head in the ground, they know better than we do. So Unfortunately, we don't know what the severity of his injury is, but we will find out in the next coming days. If anything does break around the Noah Brown situation, you know, it'll be covered right here on the channel. But that's all we have for today. I'm Azael Mejia with Commander Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.